In the last decades, bats have suffered tremendously as a result of humans' migration into their habitats. Indiana bats are harmless to humans and keep a social life amongst themselves. These bats have been listed as endangered since 1967, and because of many reasons, they're still fighting for survival. The endangered Indiana bat is threatened every day with problems such as human disturbance, cave commercialization, summer habitat loss, environmental contaminants, white nose syndrome, and more. These bats only hibernate in specific caves in large numbers at a time, so they are very vulnerable to disruption. When intrusion by humans happen, because hibernation caves can sometimes hold close to 20 to 60,000 bats, the population can easily drop. The tourism of caves has become a problem for the species. Allowing groups of people into the few caves where these animals reside has been forcing them to having to eventually leave, having them to go through the challenge of finding a new home for them and their entire cluster. Changes in the ecosystem, such as a temperature rise or drop, airflow, or humidity, can also affect this population greatly. During summer months, Indiana bats migrate into trees. Because of the large loss of forest or deforestation, Indiana bats are having to die off in combination with the temperature change, along with other problems, or try and find the new environmentally safe habitat. Because bats eat insects and bugs in their diet, they are subject to a lot of pesticides in their food supply. Bats can be affected by ingesting contaminated insects, water, or taking in treated chemicals when being tested on. White nose syndrome is a disease associated with fungus responsible for the high mortality rates of bats. This disease had spread to 29 states and 5 Canadian provinces. The fungus can be transported by clothing, people, and other bats. Bats with this disease develop white fungal growth first on their nose and then growing in and onto their ears and wings, preventing them to being able to fly. Working to help fight for these animals, the Indiana Department of Natural Resources and other many places that gave access to wildlife has banned the community from having further access. Over the past years, we have just started cracking down and not letting people into tourist sites where these bats reside. We have advanced in our scientific research behind white nose syndrome And although we have a lot more to do, we have started to make significant progress in preserving the homes of these creatures and knowing why exactly they are starting to become extinct.